Yeah, this is it. I haven't spoken to you guys in a while, and this is probably the first time that I'm gonna be talking to all of you. No, this is crazy that I have to do this this brand new episode of Real Talk. Oh crap. That's the light that I have. Hold on, let me fix this for a second. Okay. I'm just gonna I'm trying to adjust this one. Hold on a second, because okay, I think I should probably also right now. Okay, let's get started. Hello everyone. Welcome to another episode of Real Talk with me, Michael Lanurias. It's been 3 months since the last episode. I'm just gonna double check because it's really nice to see you again, guys. Yeah, it's been fun. It's been a great pleasure to meet you all. Okay, so yeah, the last video it was the last episode of Real Talk was episode 7, which is January 17. But I recorded it in January 16th this year. Okay, so yeah, times have really changed right now. And today I'm recording this on the middle of May right now, and this is recorded in January. So there's there's so many things to catch up right now. So it's been 4 months right now since I live in this wonderful apartment right here. Yeah, doing good. It's been great. There are lots of great changes here and there. The all the clothes are there. It's already piling up. The All my clothes are already piling up. Everything's already piling up, and everything is handy dandy. It has been a 4 months right now since all the snow, and unfortunately, there's no snow right now. It's cool. Oh, by the way, today is a really really hot weather outside because the temperature was 70s. Now it's 80s already. Yeah, it is really super hot. And then over the next few days here and there, it's still going to be hot, but not quite as hot as you think yet. And then later on, it will probably push back to like 40s and 50s and 60s, which is a definitely fair weather. Only an okay weather, sort of. Whew, oh boy. Well, it's been a really while right now. It's been years, and the last time I had that same bald hair as before, but my hair grew like throughout the winter. The hair has been like a big little puffy hair that I had to style it in any sort of way. But today, it's none of that. It's buzz cut season, and I had to use this one for this particular season. And then when my hair grows again, it's gonna be the hairstyle, same hairstyle as that before, because I had that long little hair. But notice there's like a little gray hair here on top of it. Yeah, that's just how it really goes right now. Uh, and as of now, we're approaching 9 o'clock because I'm also wrapping this whole thing. I have just started the first episode of. Well, I've just started the first episode right now of the new season of Game Changer. It's just basically okay. So think of this board game called Don't Wake Daddy, and they turned it into new game, but it added to some sort of what are some things they can definitely do within the guidelines and the rules. on the TV because anything anything that can be a little bit of too far. And I really watched those contestants there, actually those three contestants there, and I really enjoyed that episode. But I had a strong opinion, even though this is meant for comedy and stuff. For there, for me, this is the episode. I can do what anything with the copyright and stuff, anything with defamation or anything indecency about it. You will never, and I will say this one because this is my show, and I could say one, but I have a brain. I have some certain rules that I have in mind. You will never, first of all, you will never, ever catch me saying anything slur on camera. Okay? This here, this entire thing here on camera or any of my YouTube stuff, you will never, ever make me say it. And you will never say some slurs or anything like that on camera. You will never, ever catch me doing that. You will never catch me those. You won't be able to find it except for, well, not the except. There's no exceptions. Right? No, there's no exceptions. You will never find that at all. Any of my videos on my YouTube, you never find any of that on this podcast. You will never find any of this or any other podcast or any other forum site. You will never catch me saying those. And secondly, for the drinking part, it's okay, but you won't be able to see me. But for drinking like an alcohol or something, you will find me some videos, but you will never ever me just watching them all. Because remember, I'm only drink to some occasions. Okay, any of the occasions that I can do, whether it's a football game or anything like that, I can drink whenever I feel like it. Because I'm a little old now. I'm 26. I can definitely drink. Okay, I can drink some alcohol, but not too much because I don't like drinking. But for anything else other than illicit substances or illicit anything illicit substance or illicit no oogs, I because I'm not gonna say that. I'm gonna say that word fully. You will never catch me with any of those anything that's illicit or illegal. Anything that's illicit or illegal things, you'll never have that veil with that. You'll never. And also, yeah, I think that's probably much it. And also, I will never ever make any defamations on certain people or certain things. But I can only say the opinions because whatever I said is an opinion. But I will never ever say anything negative about whatever the brands that I was into because that's gonna be problematic if I say some certain things about this. Saying either certain things to someone, but I will have you're not gonna get any information out of me. You're not gonna get an opinions. You're not going to get something, anything that comes out of my mouth. Because if I see something that's a little bad, it's bad. But I'm not gonna say it out loud. I'm not gonna mention a name. I'm not name dropping things. Okay? I will never name drop things because, but I could give the description to, I could describe a certain person or a certain thing, but I will never drop anything, any single name or any brands. Yeah, I'm not dropping that. I will never just protect all the identities and stuff. You will never, ever catch me with that. And that's the purpose of the episode right there is to how far can you push yourselves into something more illegal that's completely against the TV against the TVs and all the policies and stuff. Because if you notice, okay, let me show you. Because I'm gonna show you how what I did. Well, real talk. Because you will definitely find me a lot of things. Okay, let me search real talk. I'll search my name. Yeah, you will find me any podcast in the world, whatever the podcast you have. It's called Real Talk. So, what is Real Talk, you guys? Mean certain things, and because I'm gonna have to read the certain things, because I have to read a description. So we'll see what's according to them. I Let's see what they ever think of me, because when I just look at, so yeah, you will never ever me, and you notice there's like little copyright things. Oh right, I forgot about the copyright. You will never ever catch me sing. Well, I could definitely sing. There are some covers of it, but you never ever made me want to sing some. Because right now on YouTube they are catching up. Even if it's a cover, they will catch up with that. They will catch up on what songs that you're gonna sing, because you will never have a licensed song that's any in rights to it, because it will be Subin, and you will never. I'm probably gonna have to start deleting things, because I mean I do love singing, but if someone catches that and me singing some of the licensed songs, some of the popular songs, they will. And I had to make them pay towards whoever writes the song, whoever distributed to it. So yeah, I won't be able to sing at all, because you know why? Because they'll have the rights, they'll have the money. If you ever sing a single music, you play a single music or a single note, you will never catch those. But now on to some of the podcasts they have, some of the descriptions. You will see, because you see, if you see what I'm seeing, can't if you can't see on the screen, this gives you the active year and it gives you a copyright. You see that little copyright sign right there? Oh, you definitely can't see it, but well, you definitely can't see it, but it says copyright and my name on it, because remember, I own this podcast. So does also So does the Case of the Crimes podcast. So does my YouTube channel. Everything that I have, everything that I have, I put it out. Me. All that goes to me. Okay? Because no one else, because I'm not a little company or something. That's just me. But if I'm going to create a company, I would, but I will not do that. It's hard. It's a really hard work if you ever do something. Anything like a certain live or certain things. Let's see what the description, what they think of me, according to this website, thoughtleaders.io, about my podcast. Okay, it says marketers note should be aware that this channel presents a safe environment for wide audience with a focus on relatable and non-controversial content, making it suitable for brand partnerships and potential growth. Yeah, told you. Because I didn't say anything that's controversial. Anything with the controversy of that, you will never catch me throwing some controversial stuff, because that's why I have to keep my mouth shut, or that's why I will never do anything that makes it a controversial. So what is really controversial, really? Controversial is something that you did something that's a little bit messed up. Okay? You somehow, messed up some certain things. I mean, if you ever messed up like an episodes, like a certain episodes, not a certain episode, you messed up about certain things and you said something like this towards a person or a group, that makes it a controversial. Or saying something that did, but something you did and you don't know, but other people already know the truth about certain people. So, yeah, you will never catch me in any of those content that you will never catch me anything it's anything that's relatable to you. I mean, for me, anything that's related to you, and anything that's not controversial at all. Because everything I said is there, but I never drop names. I never drop the brand names. I will never drop names at all because you know what that happens if you do that. It's gonna be a problem. It's gonna be a little troublesome if you ever do that. So no. Okay. Well, according to well, again, let's see the description. This is according to the thought leaders. It says, okay, Real Talk with Michael Lanurias is a podcast style youth channel that offers unique perspective on various topics that offers a okay, sorry. I keep repeating this one. Okay, let me read this again. Real Talk with Michael Norris is a podcast style YouTube channel that offers a unique perspective on various topics, but in personal opinions with light-hearted discussions. That's true. The host engages with a range of subjects from everyday life experiences to fun and entertaining themes, making it accessible for a broad audience. The conversational format allows for spontaneous thoughts and reflections, creating an inviting atmosphere for listeners. This channel aims to provide relatable content that resonates with viewers and seek both entertainment and insight. With a focus on authenticity, it encourages open dialogue and exploration of diverse ideas. Okay, whoever created this description of what my package is, you are not wrong. You are so not wrong. And then be yeah, you're not wrong. You're not even wrong. And then there are some certain things that I didn't know about. Let me check some other stuff that anything that's caught my attention. Well, some of the documents that experiences, this is all for me. Okay. So created this I created a research paper about fandoms, and I named this Fandom for All and All for Fandom. Remember, all of these, all my essays that I have done, this is me. Okay, I've created this whole thing. So let me read out what my essay, what I said about my research about the Fandom for All and All for Fandom. But I'm gonna make my additional opinions about it because this is I have to throw out some of the evidence here because I only did what, like five things that I cited, five five articles that I have cited, and I put it all in the one. But I'm gonna make myself an opinion. I will have some. Is this is was 2018. Right now this is 2026, and I can change my opinion. All right, let me read this aloud. So what I said is okay. Greg Egan has once said, all right, fandom's about fandom's a great big social club. And that's true. Because not just for, it's a big social club. It doesn't have to be like a physical club that you can go to places, but it's also an internet. You can, there's a groups on Facebook, or you can also go to a Discord, because Discord is also a good example too. And then and let me continue here. People went into different fandoms because of what they were interesting. Some fandoms were outstanding, but others weren't expecting as they think. If this is their first time joining fandom, they must think about why joining one is beneficial for most people. So why you're joining. The three reasons about the reasons to understand about the fandoms of the origin of the term, basically what is a fandom, and why is it beneficial for mental health, and how we interact to other people. But there are some drawbacks when you enter in the fandom. There is like a downside of a particular fandom. Okay, so in my first, that's just the first minute. This is just basically intro to what it is. Okay, my second intro says to begin with, they don't know the origins of the origin of that term, the word fandom. What is a fandom? So according to Letter Rutherford, the word fandom, okay, fandom comes from, should break down to the words fan is ancient word of fanatic, and they shorten it to the word fan, meaning an unreasoning enthusiast. That's the fan. And the fanatic produces few definitions and narrow it down to someone who is a fan into one thing, okay, fan of this. And it describes a person who has his or her interest, and the word fan fits the term. Your interested thing because it becomes fan. And then should discuss about the suffix of dumb, okay, and then conclude that history of that term. And then explains the word suffix of dumb mean an error controlled by a person of the rank or state or condition, okay. And if you put them all together, it will definitely make sense of what that word is, and refers to as a group of people who support to this particular interest or some of the interests they had. Moreover, a site to where fans were creating their imagine by illustrating some fan arts or composed fan fiction. It's not just fan arts or a fan fiction, but it's also having cosplays, or sometimes they do some other things they produced within the fandom. Okay. So although the fans condition, well, their condition to enjoy something for the fandom, in the history of this term will explain to the fans who want to join because of what they like. What they was, should they ever join? No, a fandom and see what the people, what it looks like. Okay, we'll get to that in a second. All right, so belonging to the fandom, the next paragraph, is a beneficial for their mental and emotional health for reasons. Okay, so according to a researcher, saying that the reasons the fans were welcome to the fan and how was it related to the health. Okay, and it discussed with some of the psychiatrists about fandoms related to some of the mental. So one person said that it helped adolescents connect to other like-minded youths. So we got others, and through some of the lifetime to get along with each other. So you probably have a network, and that creates a little community. Um, and it makes sense because anybody can represent a part of a group by proving who they are and stating its purpose for their own lifestyle. So that definitely makes sense. So young people understand that they are not only the members of the family, people from all over the world are the members as well. It's not just young people, but for all ages. Okay, it's not just for this particular young people because we don't want it to be skewed, but for a broader audiences. And that definitely makes sense. Okay, so yeah, whatever wherever they go, there are the whole group of the fandom. So it's just the whole group. And then Tim explained how the fans possess several interests to join as many fandoms as possible. So that kind of relates to me because I've joined several fandoms you can think of, and then informed that about the same thing. They very agree. Said that being a fan, quote, doesn't develop into obsession, but it's normal and healthy to connect more to their friends and rely more on themselves. That's what they do. And then for their own, they can have as many interests as possible so they can get out their comfort zone. and it represents the identity as both a fan and human being. So not just fan, but you guys, each other as a human being, because both you have in common, right? When they feel like they belong to the fan, they experience a sense of mental ability so that they can discover themselves for who they are in that fandom. Therefore, fandom is the perfect place where they share their common interests and that they want the mental to find their safe place, safe space. Joining the fandom is one of them. If you want to have some safe spaces, joining the fandom might be a good thing. Okay. And then the next paragraph that I had said, okay, people were asking the question, what was like being a fan and where all those fans are, where all these people come from? Okay. Being as one is responsible to be part of the fandom by visiting the fandom virtually or physically. That's the reason. The only place where you can go for the fan in an online world is Tumblr because I created and provided an example of Tumblr because that's where my main place. Well, back in 2000s, they usually create blogs for like a particular fandom where you join. And yes, I have done that. I did that every day. I'm using Tumblr every day, even though no one uses Tumblr anymore, but I still use it to this day for because right now it's no longer on my records. It's dead now. Well, it's over. I had to manage every single blogs or aka record labels for each of the fandom that I have provided. Okay. Tumblr is a beautiful, wonderful website where they can post from fan fictions, fan arts to tribute videos. Okay. And they can see what's going on from by liking them or reblogging them, which extends the reach of their content and strengthens the community. So, because I literally took this one from their website. That's crazy. That's crazy because I literally took this one from the because I literally took this one from the website. Not the website. That's another again. It's another resources that I did. Um, if they found something that they like and let them know that they're sharing, they can represent the consistent how fans would discuss, and it passes from one fan to another, indicate how one post can have many likes in your blocks, but someone who is confident to display in public. So they want to share it to the people in the world. They can share my posts to the other fans. They can do that. They can. If online isn't their thing, so if you don't like to do something online, they can go to conventions. Okay, conventions are another way to go to the fandom, but it's real life. So let's talk about this little anime convention. It's called Fandom Con, where fan greets fans, and it's where they can join some of the activities. Okay, interview one of the co-owner and the president of that convention about or the president about the convention. And according to the co-owner and the president, it was a complete different atmosphere for your this convention is a complete different atmosphere. And it can mean new people to have a community support, thrive and grow for many years. And new fans were welcome because they hadn't been in a convention before, so they got the opportunity to have their initial experience for what a convention looked like. And then I provided some of the examples. And the example that I have created called when cosplaying, some people dress in their favorite character from some of the animes that was mentioned there. People walking around saw them and took pictures of them. Okay. And another example is the fans were excited to meet the voice actors of the show. Yes. Voice actors, they can attend the conventions and they can talk about the show or something. And then by the end of that, fans can ask the panel questions. Okay. Think of Think of that. Think of that. And it was fun to say hello to someone to know and apprehend what they were talking about. But online in person fans are everywhere and they can feel free to join anytime. So it doesn't cost anything. Well, some of the conventions right there, you might have to pay like an admission fee or something. But most of the conventions, they're free. If it's a very far away, then it's a travel expense that you're gonna have to pay, and not the convention itself. Unless convention has like the admission fee, then that's another way. But most of the fandoms that you can find here are online, so some of it is free, but I have no opinion. But I threw a downside. I also created a downside. What is a downside to this? Okay. So, what's the downside of just joining fandom? Some people didn't want to go on the fandom ever, or they only joined the fandom for just a short period of time, or sometimes there might be something wrong with the fandom. They believed this way because they were frightened for anyone who criticizes about the fandom. It's not just the itself, but for the show as well. So discuss about the fandom is good for most fans, but others don't. They can turn into harassment and intimidation, and it's hard to suffer giving out the hate to other people. So that's a little bit of downside to that. Some of that they just join it just to hate other people or just to harass some other people. That's a thing. And someone call anyone with some explicit words, they don't hear or something that's offensive. Basically, if you throw out like slurs within the community right there, that is a big no. It is indeed a big no. Um, if that happens, the OnlyFans are hurting their feelings, but whole fan will read this comments will kick them out for good. Yeah, and later on, okay, about some of the insults derived from the haters, and it could get worse to the ones who support alongside. Insert a fan can turn vitriolic and toxic because it can be dehumanized to the ones who deserve as a true fan, or probably like an elite fan is what they might call it. It's an elite fan. The fan is a community for illustrative things, but it can possess some of the negative things too. It's not just negative towards other people to the other fans, but also to the show and also to the voice actors who throw some negative comments or something like that on the internet, or something might be very physical. So anything can be wrong will go wrong, according to Newton. So at the end, they had to be very careful what they're saying and be mindful of someone who is not on their side. And that's because they make mean comments from the fandom, but doesn't mean they were true fans of the show. Okay, just because they turn fans doesn't mean they're like the fans of the show. They're just only there to just being spiteful, you know? That's just that. Fans are humans, okay? They're humans and treating respect like every human being did too. Therefore, they can go to fandom, but be cautious for something happen or something unexpected. I already said that. So now the takeaway of fandom is that it's a great to end fun. They understand the meaning of the term. Fandom is a cure for their health by showing them who they are like fully as they unravel. And they explore some of the many ways, whether on the computer or the convention, to connect other people. So people could talk about negative remarks that can hurt for individuals or ruin fandom. If a person in the fan has something who wants to see some cool things, they can enter the fan and see what's in store for them. And then all traditional new fans are welcome to join because fan provides some excitement and support. Fandom is fun for all ages, fans getting it together for one fandom. And that's what I did for my essay. Yeah, that is literally what I did. That is my research paper that I have created about fandoms, and I already talked about it. We discussed about the fandoms lately. Okay, hold on a second. Wow, you have finally understand about what I have read about some of the research papers I have. And then the other one that I did when I was back in college is some creative writing. I'm just gonna throw out some of the writings that I had for what it's worth. Okay. Okay. On the creative writings that I had, I enlisted some of the seven deadly sins, right? Okay. Okay. Describe the sins mortals that should forbid, and I listed all the seven sins. I just enlisted them. So okay. One is pride. Pride is something you're not afraid of some of the challenges that are difficult to pass. That's what according to what I said. Being envy is the second one. Being envious of someone something means jealous of what they have but you don't. Also, being jealous of there are smarter, luckier, and more attractive than others, or try to make cells, try to knock some of them down. You can't have, you don't, something we can't have. You can't have something what they have. Some gluttony is like consuming something. It's not just, it could be food. It doesn't have to be food though, but it could be anything that you have that's a lot. Consume something that's too much. Other than food, it's not just food, but for anything. Lust is some people, okay. It's like you are taken over with love, with anything's love making or sexual attractions or some desires and some other that can be described as a lust. Wrath, wrath, I don't know, so is when you're definitely in the bad mood, the life irritated by someone that you want to push away with everything, you know. And then green, I listed as in which come in. It's like stealing something yours that aren't yours for money. They just want something, like as many as they can. They just take. They're takers. Sloth means lack of movement by a person. Someone who was very lazy for a little long time. And then identified some of the said these things. I also provided the examples too. Forgot. Pride is like a graduation. It's not that was a worse example that I did for the graduation. But also like sports. Sports is a good example right there for pride. Because they're proud to be, a fan, a sports fan. Um, envy is basically okay. So say like a fan had like a rare collection of this, the biggest rare that would cost a lot of money, but bad fan who is very jealous of it, like they're secretly just they have like a secret animosity towards this person who definitely wants that little thing, but they have it and they have it and they don't. Gluttony. Okay, it's I did a little example about obese person who just went to fast food like every day. Doesn't care about the calories consumed and most of the foods. Next one is lust. Okay, so basically man in a relationship with a wife, but love with heart, and they had some other favors to me. And they had like experience, and the rest is just history. That's but rave is basically someone at the bar killed out by a man, called by his girlfriend when cheated by another man. Can't believe that to them. Some threatening words, some threaten some words, cities. Doesn't have to be a weapon, but with words too. Degree is basically I did a typical example of a burglar just stealing the money for the bank and getting away. It has a getaway car or something like that. And slots, so basically a kid, very lazy to the room, finishing the homework, wants watch TV, playing something on the phone, all of that. And some of the consequences, it's really too fast for me to list out some things. And then I ended with And then the next portion of that one for my creator writing is creating. I made a story called. Well, you can find that one on my Wattpad, which I created. Not only I created fan fictions too, but I also created some original stories that I had when I was like a teenager, when I was like 15 or 16. And this story that I had, it's called A Secret That No One Will Tell. So this is about a person, it's about this boy in high school, doesn't know, doesn't tell anyone about this, who has a secret, this particular secret that they haven't told anybody yet for a long time. And also like to come clean, but I won't go to that little details. You can find that one. You can find that little fic. I'm gonna show you where that name is. You can find this on Wattpad too, right? Hold on. I'm gonna have to sign in password very quickly. It's a struggle. Struggle mean the struggle things. Oh yeah, this is it. No one told. I should have reworded it, but it's secret. No one. It's called it's called the secret that no one told. No, I would have reworded and I would have renamed this title. It's called the secret no one tells. That would have been a great title though. If I would change, go back and tell that little, no, I would have changed the name to the secret no one tells, which would make sense to you because this is original. All these have come up with my head. Okay, and you can find this thing. You can find this one on Wattpad. It's at Mike 10 Lanurias. You will find some of the other ones too if you want to go check it out. Okay. If you want to read something about some of the fandoms, some fanfics that I have, and also my original story, some of the original stories that I created, and also there are some my original fan fictions that I have too. One of the most popular ones, this is my original fanfic here. It's called What Will Ninjago Reacts Is. So it's basically ninjas are reacting to some certain things. Some of the suggestions were provided by you guys, but no, some of the some of people who uses Wattpad on that day, and throw out some suggestions to us or to me on what they're going to react and see how Ninja's going to react and see how they feel about it. So, and I did that one, not just one, not two, but three. I also did the fourth one, but I decided to cancel it and just end that series. That was the one and only series that I did, and I had such a great time. I had a great time writing that big for so long. And then I did some other stuff like Switch. It's another original Ninjago fic. It's standalone. Rescued by a Ninja, but it's also a standalone fic. Some of the ones are the original. I made it an original fanfic. But I believe that the secret no one tells, the secret no one told according to it, should have rewarded the secret no one tells. It is the one and only original original story that I did. This is the one and only original story that I wrote. I wrote that when I was 15. It's totally original. This is not like a fanfic or anything. It's original story. I'm probably the one and only original story that I did. It'll be nice if I'm going to create another original story. I'll think about it but it takes process. It's gonna take process because what I did in that original story, Very small. Things that just create the entire little picture, entire scene. So, and there are some little loop plot holes there that no one ever tells about. No, it's about it because it's not does not focus on it. It's focus on this main character. This main character. I named the main character named Ron. Okay, Ron is a 15-year-old boy who usually been around, usually going to school and do all the things that he do as a teenager. Well, I already mentioned the mother passed away thing there, but it's not just by himself now. It's not just by himself because his mother passed away because he really misses the mother. So he lives with him because you would definitely feel that little story. Probably like a father, but there's no father figure at all. So I guess you could say like another relative of his, but it was never mentioned at all because none of that will make sense. Because he went into this little school, this high school, and then you know goes on and day and everything in school there, and then he has a girl that I put a girl into story named Chrissy. I'm not sure if that has same here. I think his name is it's either Christy or Catherine that I wrote. Hold on a second, guys. I need to find. Hold on a second, guys. I need to find this. I need to find this particular name that I name. Let me read. Christine? Yes. So I have a character named Ron, and then another character named Christine. I just come up with some names. Okay. You have Ron and you have Christine. Those are the only two that I had. All right, and he went home and wrote letters to his family and his friends and giving them all. Oh, oops! I spoiled that to the end. But if you guys don't know what this original story that I had, you can find that one on. Some of these doesn't make sense at all because I barely speak English at that time. I barely speak English. Okay. All right. Well, that's it. I think that's probably it. I think it should be over 30 minutes by now because I don't know what 30 minutes feels like. But this episode should be at least 30 minutes. Or it's probably like an hour or so. I think I talk a lot for over 30 minutes by now. And probably over an hour. Well, less than an hour. Because I don't want to talk too long or like over an hour or something like that. All right. Well, thank you guys so much for watching or listening to this podcast. If you're listening to this one on Spotify or any other anything we can find on anything you can listen to this podcast or whatever you can get to stream this podcast. Thank you. And also, if you're watching this in the video form on YouTube, thank you. Thank you as well. And that wraps for the episode 8 of Real Talk. I have few episodes left before I would say I could finally end this little podcast thing that I had for years. 3 years. Alright. That's it. That's enough for me. Alright guys. Goodbye everyone. And take care.